Alright, let's dive into something that's been making headlines recently. William and Kate bringing their kids to the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Now, on the surface, it might seem like just another royal family outing, right? But personally, I think there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. What makes this really interesting is how it blends the personal with the public, the casual with the ceremonial. It's not just about watching sports, it's about the royals stepping into a role that feels both relatable and symbolic. Let's break it down. First off, the choice of event is pretty telling. Netball and cycling aren't exactly the most glamorous sports in the royal playbook, but that's kind of the point. In my opinion, this feels like a deliberate move to show the family in a more accessible light. Netball, for instance, is huge in Commonwealth countries, especially among women and girls. By showing up to cheer on teams like New Zealand and England, they're not just spectators, they're aligning themselves with a sport that's deeply tied to community and inclusivity. One thing that immediately stands out is how Princess Charlotte was there, taking photos with the Team Scotland players. That's not just a cute moment, it's a subtle way of saying, we are here to support you, and it's a message that resonates way beyond the court. Now, let's talk about the venue. The OVO Hydro and the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome aren't just random locations. Glasgow itself has a story here. This city stepped in to host the Games after Victoria, Australia, pulled out due to costs. If you take a step back and think about it, Glasgow hosting this for the second time in 8 years is a massive deal. It's a city that's proving its resilience and its ability to come through in a pinch. And the Royals being there. It's a nod to that effort, a way of saying, we see you, and we are here to celebrate with you. What many people don't realize is how much these events rely on local communities, volunteers, and staff, and William and Kate made a point to meet them. That's not just protocol, it's a statement about valuing the people behind the scenes. Another detail I find fascinating is the timing. The Games have been a scaled-down version this year, with fewer medals but a record number of parasports events. That's a huge shift, and it speaks to a broader trend in sports. Inclusivity and diversity are taking center stage. By bringing their kids to events like powerlifting and gymnastics, the Royals are quietly endorsing this evolution. It's not just about the gold medals, it's about celebrating every athlete, every story. What this really suggests is that the royal family is trying to stay relevant in a changing world, and they're doing it by aligning themselves with values that matter to people today. Now, let's talk about the closing ceremony, because it's a whole other layer of symbolism. Simple Minds, Elephant Sessions, Shireen Cut Kelvin, these aren't just random performers. They're a celebration of Scottish culture, and by extension, the Commonwealth's diversity. But what's really striking is the inclusion of Bollywood's Shankar Mahadevan and Rashmika Mandanna. This isn't just about Scotland, it's about the global connections of the Commonwealth. From my perspective, this is the Royals acknowledging that their role isn't just about one country, it's about a network of nations with shared histories and futures. And Delta Goodrem's homage to Scotland? That's a full-circle moment, tying back to the 2006 Melbourne Games and reminding us of the continuity here. So, if you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just a family outing. It's a carefully crafted narrative about accessibility, inclusivity, and global unity. Personally, I think the Royals are walking a fine line here, trying to stay traditional while also modernizing their image. And you know what? It's working. By showing up at these events, chatting with athletes, and letting their kids be part of it, they're humanizing themselves in a way that feels genuine. This raises a deeper question, though: how much of this is strategic, and how much is just them being a family? I don't have the answer, but it's a question worth asking. In the end, what sticks with me is how this outing feels like a microcosm of where the royal family is headed. They're not just observers, they're participants in a larger cultural conversation. And whether you're a royalist or not, there's something compelling about that. So, here's my closing thought. What does it mean for a family like this to show up, not just in person, but in spirit? And what does it say about the world we are living in when even the royals are trying to keep up with the times? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm curious to hear your take.